What this 500 euro bill has to do with the difference between output and outcome, I will explain in today's video. Imagine there would be an equation that can enhance your team's performance exponentially. In today's video, we are going to talk about the impact between team output and outcome, and you will see how this will impact your team's success in the future. So let's get started to dive into the difference between output and outcome. So what's actually the definition of output and outcome? When you have a look into the Cambridge Dictionary, output is explained as an amount of something produced by a person, machine, factory, or country. So also a team. An outcome is defined by a result or effect of an action or situation. So the outcome depends highly on every company, and it will be very different for every industry. But to think about what could be the outcome is very important. And one of the Agile principles is simplicity is essential. And in my workshops, I describe what's the difference between output and outcome with bills. So I share a pack of bills and explain that every bill, if it's €5 bill, or if it's an US dollar, or 5 Australian dollars, or 10 Swiss francs, I explain that every bill stands for one project, for one feature we are developing or working on. And then I'm throwing it up. And what that means is all projects are currently in the air and worked on, and which are the ones we should finish first. And it's the project with the highest value. So just by picking this one bill, because the effort is the same for each bill to pick up, I'm creating the most impact for the customer, because it creates the most value for the customer. And all the other bills here around on this table are valued only a quarter of this 500 euro bill. So this is the focus of outcome. There's also a nice saying that output doesn't guarantee outcome. And for this, I also have a nice bill, and that's this bill. It looks very valuable, but when you see the backside, it's a fake bill. So be aware that those kind of projects are in your company as well. And actually, when Scrum Inc. goes into companies and they assess what is there in the companies, they figure out that 30% of the projects the company is working on are against the goals of the company. So stop doing those. And of the remaining 70%, 2/3 are not or rarely used by its customers. So please only focus on the remaining 25%. And with this formula, you can already increase your outcome fourfold. Okay, so now we talked about outcome, and this is represented in your team backlog. The priority shows what creates the biggest impact for the organization, what creates the most business value. For example, it could be revenue, it could be customer satisfaction, it could be the wow factor, whatever it is for your company. And normally we do business estimation workshop to figure out and prioritize your backlog accordingly. So you really focus on those projects which creates the most outcome for your customers and your organization. So outcome is seen more in the team backlog, where you see the features or projects in a prioritized and ranked order. when we go into the work with the teams, they also have a sprint backlog. That's the backlog the team is currently working on, and their focus is also on output. So how can they maximize the throughput, knowing that they already picked and pulled in those projects with the highest outcome for the organization. And now we also want to make the output and maximize that. And with high performance team patterns and limiting your work in process, you can easily double your output in your team. Jeff Sutherland, in his book Scrum, How to Do Twice the Work in Half the Time, even talks about putting the factor 4 into the output. And I've seen those things as well with my teams I was coaching to increase the velocity by 4-fold. But now we have the equation. We have on the one side, we have the team output, and on the other side, we have the team outcome. So only making the output of the team higher when the outcome is really low doesn't bring in the impact you could have with your team. So please always consider to work on those projects and features which creates the highest outcome for your organization. If you enjoyed this video, you should also have a look on this video where I talk about the 3 tools every high performance teams must use. And now I wish you an enjoyable and productive time.